Ashley, Lisa,
John,
Leticia,
Devon.
Hi everyone, my name is Juana Sierra and I'm here to share today a speech on Abraham Lincoln. It's a tribute speech. And you know, Abraham Lincoln was born into poverty, but he was a man of promise who changed our country through his life, legacy, and death, and his memory echoes forever. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 in Hardin County in a one-bedroom cabin to Nancy Hanks and Thomas Lincoln. An article in www.archives indicates that he was largely self-educated. He wasn't interested in farming as his father was, but although he held jobs, he did give all of his earnings to his father until he was 21 years old. His personal life and afflictions include the death of his infant brother to tuberculosis, the death of his sister Sarah while giving childbirth, the death of his stillborn nephew, the death of his brother-in-law, and painfully the death of his mother to milk sickness. Because of all these deaths, he suffered great depression. His relationship with his peers included a deep love and affection for Anne Rutledge. He met Anne in 1833 at her family's boarding house, and he shared many interests with her, like education and music. They also shared the same teacher, but unfortunately, Anne died to the hands of typhoid in 1835. Once again, Lincoln had to face the pain of losing a loved one. Anne was said to be the love of his life, and he suffered a nervous breakdown in 1836 because of this. But in 1839, he was able to love again when he met Mary Todd at a cotillion. He asked her to dance, and because they had a period of breakup, but although they broke up, they did come back together in 1842 with the help of their friends. Roger Nordo indicates in an article in Abraham Lincoln's research site in December 1996 that he had inscribed "Love is eternal" in her wedding ring. They shared 4 children together. Eddie, who was 4 years old, but he died. Eddie died at 4 years old. He was the youngest that died. He died at the hands of tuberculosis. William died at the age of about 11 to typhoid. Thomas at the age of 18 to heart disease. And Robert, the eldest son, was the only one that survived to adulthood. Lincoln's legacy included many choices as a president. He had a lot of failures in business and in politics, failures publicly and privately from 1832 to 1858. But he also had many successes. He served as the postmaster, a surveyor, a land surveyor, as the captain of the Illinois militia in the Black Hawk War. He held a seat in legislature, and he also won many cases as an attorney. But in 1860, he had one of the greatest victories when he became president, because he was able to enforce his personal wishes, which mainly were ideals from his parents. His parents completely opposed slavery, and so did Abraham. The Emancipation Proclamation, which was spearheaded by Lincoln, was enacted on 1863, and it was designed to unite the nations and abolish slavery. It was designed to return to black men and black women their God-given right of freedom. In Gettysburg, at the Gettysburg Cemetery, he delivered his Gettysburg Address. The Wikipedia, in Wikipedia Free Encyclopedia article on Abe Lincoln, it recounts excerpts of his speech, the Gettysburg Address, where he said that we were conceived in liberty and that all men were created equal. His tragic death, we remember it forever because he was cowardly killed by John Wilkes Booth at the Ford's house. John Wilkes Booth was an actor and a Confederate. Lincoln was shot in the back of the head, and he died surrounded by his family and friends the next day. This caused his wife a mental breakdown. But Lincoln, he caused a lot of changes in the world, and he encouraged people to move, to change. And one of the movements that he encouraged was the suffrage movement, the women's suffrage movement. The women during the suffrage movement in 1830 they became abolitionists, just like Lincoln was, because they felt that their cause was parallel to Lincoln's. And this was something that only empowered Lincoln's ideals. Slavery did end, but black men and women suffered segregation for 100 years. And in 1954, the Supreme Court outlawed segregation in public schools. And drawing on the strengths of Lincoln's principles, the Civil Rights movement gave birth to the Civil Rights Act in 1964, ending all state and local segregation. Lincoln propelled men and women to become successful in all areas of life. One of Lincoln's greatest achievements was to abolish slavery, but one of his greatest gifts was to show us that he was a man of determination and that he was able to face adversity gracefully and that he was able to make a change in the world. And I wanted to share that with you today. And I thank you for being here. And I want to show you several pictures. This picture is of him and his family. The other one is, this is Lincoln at the Gettysburg Address. These are little pictures of the that indicate the Emancipation Proclamation. This one shows how he was killed. And this last one is people gathering at a civil rights rally at Lincoln's memorial. And that is pretty much ironically, but I like this one the best. I think that Lincoln made an impact that changed the world forever. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thank you so much.
Yay!